Donald Trump and Fulton County prosecutors have agreed on a $200,000 cash bond just ahead of his expected surrender at the Fulton County Jail on Thursday. We're now told it will be Thursday. Brian Todd is taking a closer look into this jail for us. What can you tell us about the former president and his co-defendants when they actually show up there?
What they can expect, Wolf, according to the Fulton County Sheriff, is to be treated like any other defendant at that jail. But we do have new information tonight on how the process could be streamlined for Donald Trump and the other defendants. Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and 17 other defendants this week are expected to be formally booked at the Fulton County Jail, also known as Rice Street, a hulking, crumbling structure that's garnered a notorious reputation. The sheriff of Fulton County insisting that, despite their high profiles, Trump and the others will be treated like every other defendant booked at this jail.
If you're indicted, then we're going to treat you as though you were indicted here locally. And so we will continue to do fingerprints, mugshots, etc.
What might it look like inside when Trump and the others formally surrender? Retired Fulton County Sheriff's Lieutenant Charles Rambo says normally people who are surrendering come through the facility's front door first. But regardless of which entrances Trump and the others arrive in,
they would be pat down, led to the booking office in the rear. From there, they probably will have to have ties and shoestrings and all those type of things taken. Then from there, the persons would be fingerprinted, given a booking photo.
Donald Trump and the other defendants are expected to be photographed for mugshots, but it's unclear when those pictures will be made public. People familiar with the process tell CNN normally those booked at this jail are searched thoroughly by a jail deputy and at some point given a medical examination and a pre-trial screening to determine if they can sign out on their own recognizance. But it's not clear if Trump or the other high-profile defendants in this case will go through those steps. For a normal defendant, it would take hours to go through those procedures. But with these defendants?
I don't expect Trump to spend hours in this jail because the longer he is, I mean, it's a pain. It's going to be a hassle for the entire sheriff's department, or at least those that are at the jail when the president is there. It's going to be a circus.
If they didn't have bond agreements, Donald Trump and the other defendants might have been held in custody at this jail, which observers say could be a nightmarish experience.
The Rice Street jail is not a pleasant place. It's dirty. It's scary.
Last month, the Justice Department launched a civil rights investigation into the Fulton County Jail following multiple deaths inside the facility. Last year, inmate LaShawn Thompson was found dead in his cell. His family says unsanitary conditions, including insect and lice infestation, contributed to his death.
Even the sheriff agreed it was deplorable conditions, like a third world country.
3 officials at the Fulton County Jail stepped down earlier this year after a preliminary investigation into LaShawn Thompson's death. Sheriff Patrick Labatt acknowledges the poor conditions there. He says he welcomes the Justice Department investigation, and he has sought more than $2 billion in county funding to build a new jail. Wolf.
Horrendous situation over there. Thanks very much, Brian Todd, reporting. I want to bring in CNN legal analyst Norm Eisen for more on the breaking news we're following. The breaking news that the former President Donald Trump will turn himself in to authorities down in Georgia on Thursday. What's your reaction, Norm?
Well, Wolf, despite the fact that we've seen this before, there's no denying the historic nature of it. Even to have one surrender one time by a president, now the 4th time, these are some of the most serious charges he faces with some of the most serious penalties. But we also have to be cognizant, Wolf, of the ways in which the former president is utilizing the spectacle of these surrenders and the related appearances, the arraignments, to drive his support and his popularity in the Republican presidential primary. So we're seeing that, and we can expect that as well on Thursday.
If he were just a regular citizen and he was facing these criminal charges, he'd not only be finger-pointed but have a mugshot, but presumably they could deny him even bail, right?
They could. I think most regular citizens who had no history of conviction — he has multiple criminal charges, but he has not been convicted — would be eligible either for bail or for a bond of the kind that he's posting here. We know that also from the treatment of his co-defendants. But we do expect that some of the usual strictures in this jail, which is not a very nice place to be, some of the usual strictures will be relaxed to move him in and out quickly. We've seen that in the prior arrests, the prior surrenders, and we'll see that here too. And of course, the Secret Service is negotiating